14. Is this the same photo that's already, I don't know which state exhibit, but this is a photo of y'all on Christmas Day?
Yes, sir. That was,
The photo that has where'd you get that gun from?
it was my Christmas present that year
From?
from my wife.
Okay. And that's the same 45 that they found in your car?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is that Abel in the middle
Yes, sir.
with his shirt on, shirt off, right?
It looks like he's opening a present also.
Okay. I'll offer defense exhibit number 14.
No objection. This is 14 as amended.
Permission to publish, please. Earlier you were talking about your kids or your boys. This right here is who?
Little Marcus.
Okay, how old was Marcus during that time period?
He was 8 years old at the time.
And this guy in the Dallas Cowboy hat, who is that?
That's my son Abel Acosta.
Okay, and
Richard.
who is this?
Richard Jr.
All right.
or the third.
All right, these are your sons.
Yes, sir.
All right, but during this time period, was your wife pregnant?
Yes, sir. She was expecting my baby girl that we have now.
All right, but let's talk about that pregnancy. In November, did your wife at some point before this Christmas have a miscarriage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how did that, what happened with that?
We were expecting twins at the time.
When you say at the time, what time was that? I mean, were you talking September, October, what are you talking?
It was November 26th. She was having pains in her stomach at the time, and then she ends up miscarrying one at the time. She had pains, and I remember that she went to the restroom, and there was like a glob of, blood or placenta in the toilet. And I picked it up. We didn't know what happened at the time, but we knew we were expecting twins.
All right, did you rush you to the hospital?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to save one of the twins?
Yes, sir. They checked her out, and they found that one of the babies was miscarriage. And then one of the babies still had a heartbeat.
And just moving forward, what's that baby's name now?
Eliana Adderley.
So now you got a girl.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is Christmas Day, right?
Yes, sir.
And did I show this picture? Yeah, I think I did. This is the one that the jury's already seen, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you happy that your wife bought you a pistol?
Yeah.
Anything menacing about that?
No, sir.
All right.
You can see all the presents all around me. You can see the presents beside my son, and right beside me you can see the box where I just barely opened it. I didn't even know that I had that for Christmas. She just told me open it. I didn't even think I was even getting a present or anything. Christmas is about the boys.
All right. So at some point, y'all had a great Christmas.
It was the most. Even my oldest sons, was telling me that it was the best time they ever had because we were all together.
All right. Let's move to the next day. The next day is the day of the shooting, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. But I want to start at the beginning. Tell the members of the jury what happened that day. What y'all were doing that day, on the 26th.
The beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, we went to North Park Mall.
Why were you going to North Park Mall?
Basically to return some gifts that Abel didn't like, or we had bought him a cologne, and I don't know the difference between perfume and cologne or whatever. There's a difference. I didn't know that until I got to North Park Mall, and I had bought him his favorite cologne, but it wasn't an oil base, or I don't know what's the difference. But I took it so he could return it. He got the same cologne, but just a different style of, I don't know what type of different liquid it was.
You all went to the mall, and what mall did y'all go to?
We went to North Park Mall. My mother-in-law, me, and my son Abel, and little Marcus too.
How long were y'all at the mall?
No more than 2 hours. We probably left there probably around about 2:30.
And when y'all left there, where did y'all go?
After that, we went to Academy to look for a grotto or a fireplace, like for a backyard area. and it was going to be a gift for basically her cousin. And we went to go look for it at Academy. We think, it was sports and outdoors, so we thought that maybe it was going to be there.
Now, was Abel with you?
Yeah, he was there. No, Marcus
Did
too.
he ever, let me ask you this, did he ever wander off while y'all were in the academy?
No, he stuck to my side. My mother-in-law went to go look for the grotto or the fireplace, and then I stayed with my son at the sporting goods section. I was looking at the archery because I was trying to get a bow, or trying to see if I could get a new bow, hunting bow.
Did you like taking your boys hunting and fishing?
Fishing we did. That's my dad's favorite pastime. We have a fishing boat, and my boys loved fishing all the time. They loved being outdoors, but not hunting. I didn't. But they knew about archery, though. We would practice in the backyard.
Okay, let me ask you this. At some point, do y'all leave academy?
Yes, sir.
Is Abel with you?
Yeah, he's still with me.
Where do y'all go?
We went to what was it called, Home Depot, because they didn't have it at Academy, and
They didn't have what?
they didn't have the fireplace there, the grotto.
Okay.
So we find it actually at Home Depot, and we bought it, and we just went home after that.
Okay, you go home.
Yes, sir.
Other than the cologne or perfume, what type of other gifts did Abel give?
He received some cash from basically, the cousins. I gave him some cash. I asked him what he wanted, and I gave him a cologne also. I gave him $100 and his cologne.
Okay. So he had money.
Yeah.
So at some point later, did he ask you to go to the mall?
Yes, sir.
What mall was that?
Firewheel Mall. And
Where is that located?
it's right there off of 78 and George Bush. It's real close to where we stay at.
Okay. Did you take him to the mall?
Yes, sir. I dropped him off.
When you dropped him off, was he by himself?
When I dropped him off, he was by himself, but he was meeting somebody there, a friend.
Did you talk to the friend?
No, sir. As I was pulling up to drop him off, the friend was walking to greet him, but he never crossed the street. Abel just got out the car and went straight to him.
And did you later come to find out who that friend was?
Later on that night I did, but at that moment I didn't know his name or anything.
Okay, so after you dropped Abel off at the mall, what do?
I went back home with my wife and my son.
And what happens while you're at home?
We were just having a casual, Sunday. She was cleaning a little bit, and she wasn't feeling well, and I was telling her to just take it easy. I was like, hey, don't do anything extra,
At some point, did Abel call you?
Yes, sir. He had called me to pick him up later on when I received the text. I think it was probably about 6:30 when the mall was closing.
Okay, you received a text from Abel?
Yes, sir.
You received a text from his friend?
No, I received the text first from Abel,
Okay, then what happened?
and then he explained to me if his phone died, that he was going to text me.
Okay, after you received a text from Abel,
Yes, sir.
then you received a text from somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Who was that someone else?
A boy named Jeremias.
Based on these texts, what did you do?
He was explaining to me to pick him up.
Don't tell me what the text said. Just based on the text, what did you do?
I went to go pick up my son at the mall.
Okay, when you got to the mall, do you remember about what time it was?
About 6:30.
Was it now Sunday evening? Anything else on your mind other than picking up your son?
No, sir. Just was going to go pick him up.
Okay, so once you go pick your son up, then what happened?
I go pick him up, and he had a small boy with him, and he asked me if I could give him a ride. And I really didn't want to because I was watching the game, at home, and I didn't know where he stayed or how far it was. So
Let me stop you there. When you say you were watching the game, what game was that?
the game had started while my son was at not North Park, at Firewheel Mall.
Who was playing?
The Cowboys and the Redskins.
Do you like the Cowboys?
A lot.
Does your family like the Cowboys?
Yes, sir.
In fact, the stocking cap that Abel has on is Dallas Cowboys, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you eager to go see that game?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you pick Abel up, you pick the other boy up. Do you drop the other boy off at his house?
Yes, sir.
Where does he live?
He stayed off of Walnut Street, right next door to a Kroger, like 2 streets over.
Okay. Do you stop at that Kroger?
Yes, sir.
Why are you stopping at the Kroger?
Because when I went to go pick up Abel, he had my wife had texted me and asked me for a favor, like a honey-do list, you know, and was like, since you're out, can you stop at the store and just grab something for me? Of course, I said yes to her.
And when you're at the Kroger, that Kroger is not far from Jeremiah's, is it?
No, it's literally 2 streets over.
Okay. Y'all, do you and Abel both go into the Kroger?
Yes, sir.
All right. What happens while y'all in the Kroger?
I stopped actually to grab a dozen roses for my wife because, you know, I was trying to make her feel a little bit better because she was not feeling well and her stomach was hurting a little bit, and you could just tell she wasn't feeling good. You know, she was under the weather a little bit.
But what else did you get?
Oh, I picked up 4 cans of canned goods. It was 2 beans and two corns.
Why are you getting beans and corn?
My wife had gave me a little small list just to stop and get her before we got to the house.
All right, let's fast forward. At some point, well, no. Let's back up. When you pick up Abel at the mall, is he wearing black shorts?
Yes, sir. Some
Flip-flops?
flip-flops, some baggy shorts, or kind of looked like he always wore boxers underneath, but it was basketball shorts. He wore his basketball shorts underneath, so it was like 2 pairs of basketball shorts.
But at any time when you picked him up, did you notice that he had a firearm?
No, sir. Not at all.
Did you ever see him with a firearm when you picked him up?
No, sir.
You've seen these videos. Did you ever see him with that gun when you picked him up?
Never have, sir.
All right. When you were in Kroger, getting your honeydew list filled, he's walking around that store, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Are there other people in that store?
There was quite a bit.
Okay. Do you see him with a gun at that time?
No, sir.
At some point, you guys leave Kroger.
Yes, sir.
Do you get another text from your wife?
I believe I probably got it when I was in the store, but I just grabbing the stuff, I didn't see it. But I checked the phone, you know, when I got to the vehicle already.
All right, but getting to the point, at some point you stop at Texaco. Why do you stop at Texaco?
Oh, she had asked me to grab her some Tylenols.
All right. Are you rushing?
Yes, sir.
Are you trying to get back to watch the game?
Yes, sir.
Who is Eric Castillo or what?
Oh, Castillo, he's just a family friend and basically a neighbor of my dad's house.
Okay. He was trying to communicate with you that day too, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
What was he communicating with you about?
He just wanted me to go and watch the game, or if I was going to go watch it with him, because the day before he had asked, you know, if I could come.
Don't tell me what he said.
Okay.
Y'all were supposed to watch the game.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at some point when you're on your way home, you end up stopping at Texaco.
Yes, sir.
When you pull up, you saw the video, right?
Yes, sir.
When you pull it into that Texaco, do you know Ivan and Raphael are there?
I've never seen them before in my life.
What about Xavier?
Never either.
Xavier?
Never.
Okay. When you pull into the parking lot and put the car in park, do you even turn it off?
When I got there?
Yeah.
No, sir. I left it on because it was going to be a quick run in and out.
In fact, when you see the video, you can see your lights on.
Yes, sir.
When you go in the store, well, before you go in the store, you were smoking.
Sad to say, yes, I was.
Yeah, but do you see yourself putting a cigarette out?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell the jury, I mean, they've seen the video a million times, but tell them what's going on in your mind when you're going in the store, and what your purpose is.
My purpose was just to go in there and just grab these 2 Tylenol packs that my wife needed. and that was just going to be it, nothing more.
Okay. While you're in the store, do you use your credit card? Is that your credit card or your debit card?
My credit card, or my debit card, yes, sir.
And just so the members of the jury know, you've been in this store before.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know whether the store has surveillance cameras?
Of course they do.
Well, can you see the surveillance cameras when you go in?
Honestly, I was not paying attention, but being that area, everybody has cameras.
Okay. At some point, you buy the Tylenol. Well, before you exit the store, did you see the boys walk behind you?
When they had walked behind me, I didn't. But whenever they were heading to the game room, that's when I saw they were heading that direction.
Okay. I mean, you weren't looking at them, right?
No, sir.
But you did see about your peripheral.
Yeah, because I was looking for the debit machine to put my card in at the time.
Okay. Just so members of the jury know, now you've seen this video a million times now, right?
Yes, sir.
But before you were arrested, had you seen this video?
No, sir.
When was the first time you saw it?
When you came and visit me.
Okay, all right. At some point, you make your purchase, you leave the store. When you see the boys inside the store, where are they going?
To the game room area, or the smoke shop game room.
Now, you saw on the video, there are a bunch of, what do they call those machines?
Slot machines.
The slot machines and smoke shop, right?
It's full of nothing but, smoke shop, knickknacks, and those slot machines everywhere in there. Probably like 10 or so.
And there are a lot of people in there, weren't there?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you get back in the car.
Yes, sir.
Tell the members of the jury what happens when you get back in the car.
So when I get to the car, my son's just like asking me if, I guess when I walked in, the guys had looked at me, and he asked me, "What did those guys tell you?" I said, nothing at all. I go, "Do you know them or something?" And he said, "Yes, I do know them." And I go,
Well, let me ask you this. Did he seem angry with the guys?
"No, sir, not at all."
Okay. At some point, you see on the video him pointing. What is he pointing?
I had asked him what guys, because, it was full of people in there. And then he pointed directly towards that direction, and said, "Those guys right there." And I said, "Didn't tell me anything at all." So I asked him, I was like, they didn't tell me anything, mijo. At all.
When he's pointing, do you believe the guys are in the smoke shop?
Yes, sir.
Is that where you saw him go?
Yes, sir.
At some point, do you make reference to Ivan?
Yes, sir.
What did you say about Ivan?
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or anything towards his haircut or anything, because I had a similar haircut when I was young. So I told my son, "Were you talking about the guy with the mullet that's in there?" And my son asked me, he goes, "What's a mullet?" And I kind of explained to him what it was, and he was laughing, because I kind of said kind of casual in the front and party in the back, and we both thought it was funny. But I told him, I had the same haircut, and I go, "I'll show you."
Is that when you were back in back?
Yes, sir.
All right. So to that point, does he appear to be angry with these guys?
Not at all.
So why does he want to talk to them?
Oh, he was telling me something about his necklace, that they knew who had his necklace.
Did he want to encounter or inquire about who had the necklace?
Yes, sir.
How did you feel about that?
I didn't think nothing of it, honestly. I just thought he was just going to ask them a question or whereabouts of his necklace, but nothing where it alarmed me.
Okay. Did you agree to let him go back in?
Yes, sir. But at first I told him I would go in there and ask him for him.
Okay. At some point, as you're about to exit, why don't you go out that first exit?
I had seen some lights coming, and then as it was coming, the light was turning yellow, and I knew it was going to turn red, so I knew the car was going to stop there. And I was being lazy, honestly.
And then what happened?
As I started to turn, through the pump. My son's telling me, "Hey, Dad, let me get off real fast." And I told him no. I go, just wait. Give me a minute. And as soon as I start going, he acts like he's gonna open the door, and I grab his shirt. I told him just to give me a second, relax. And when I told him to relax, he takes off his shirt. As soon as he starts taking off his shirt, I accidentally hit the man's truck that was parked in there, a white truck.
Okay. And is that when we see you driving on the backside of the
Yes, sir.
the pumps? When you hit his truck, you saw in the video, you stopped.
Yes, sir.
Why did you stop?
I stopped, honestly, because I thought the man was going to ask me, like, "Hey, you broke my window." I didn't know what happened. My window was pushed in a little bit, but I didn't know if I broke his glass. You can hit somebody's mirror, not break it off, but you can crack their glass, and I didn't want to take off.
Okay. And where's your attention while you're sitting there?
While I'm sitting there, I'm looking back at the man, trying to see if he's going to, come to my truck.
Well, you heard the detective earlier saying, "Oh, you could see into the store from that point." Were you looking into the store?
Not at all. I was focused on the white truck, and I was focused on my son because I was sitting there getting real heated with him at the time.
What do you mean when you say you were getting real heated with?
Well, he had came out of his shirt, and he was just talking crazy to me, basically telling me, not putting my hands on him and to relax, and and I was upset because I told him, you just made me hit this man's truck,
So y'all arguing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had y'all recently had a pretty bad argument?
Yes, sir. He was, getting a little rebellious a little bit, talking back to his mom sometimes, and we never physically fought, but we had our little scuffles, you could say.
When he would get rebellious, did he run away?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all have to report him as a runaway?
Yes, sir.
Were you worried about him doing the same thing now?
Yes, sir.
Did you back off?
Yes, sir.
At some point, do you agree to let him go in the store and ask them about his necklace?
Yes, sir.
I know it's been a while, but do you remember exactly what you're telling him?
Yeah, when I had looped around, I already had turned the truck facing the store, and he's telling me, "Hey, Dad, I'm just going to go in the smoke shop real fast, and I'm going to ask these guys, where's my chain?" I told him, like, how did they even got your chain, or what happened? How'd your chain come up missing? I go, "Did they take your necklace?" He told me, "No, they didn't take it, but they know who has my necklace."
Okay. Did he say anything about any problems with these guys?
Not at all. He never made any type of gestures leading to like something like he was mad at them at all. I thought maybe he was just friends with them, or he owed them money, or I feel like he was embarrassed to tell me, why.
You said you wanted to go in.
Yeah, I had told him, I go, "Hey, I'll go in there and ask him where your necklace is," because they looked a little bit bigger than him and older, I didn't know what was going on.
But he didn't want you to go in and embarrass him?
No, he definitely didn't want me to. He started even getting a little bit more angry. Started just getting real aggressive.
Okay, but at some point, you agreed to let him go in.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have the Cowboy game on at that time?
Yes, sir.
Is it blasting or is it down?
I had it pretty loud.
On the video, you see him dash out the car.
Yes, sir.
Before he dashes out that car, at any time did you see him with a firearm on him?
Never, sir. Never did.
If you had seen him with a firearm, what would you have done?
I would have cut off, and I would have tried to do something.
Okay.
I would have tried to stop that any type of situation if he was going to harm somebody.
Okay. But you didn't see him with the firearm?
Never did.
Okay. On the video, you see him jump out.
Yes, sir.
When he jumps out in the manner that he jumps out, why didn't that alarm you?
I told him to hurry up. I go, "If you're going to get off, just go real fast. Get your stuff, dude, or ask them whatever, who has your necklace." I go, "But if they don't know, just leave it alone. I'll buy you another one. Don't make a big deal about it. Don't Just don't make a big deal about it. Let's just go home. Let's just please watch this game. Let's have a good night. You know.
Were you concerned about getting your wife upset?
Oh yeah, definitely. She was sick, so I just wanted to go home and actually just be with her and help her out.
Okay.
I didn't want nothing to stress her out even more.
Okay, now at some point he jumps out of the car.
Yes, sir.
And when he jumps out of the car, you see on the video, right?
Yes, sir.
He goes to the back.
Yes, sir.
And when he goes to the back, where do you think he's going?
To the smoke shop.
Why would you think he's going to the smoke shop?
Because that's where I had seen the gentleman going, so I really thought that they were still probably in that smoke shop.
Okay. Now, do you watch him the whole time when he's going toward the store?
No, sir.
Once he exits your car, what do?
I put it turn it up a little bit more just to, just watch the game or hear the game. And that's when
Where is your attention focused?
my attention was focused on the radio and looking at this man that I just hit, because now I'm like basically facing this white truck still.
What do you mean you're facing the white truck?
Well, the truck that I had hit, Armando's truck, was basically like to my side.
Are you wondering whether he's going to come?
Yeah, the whole time I'm, basically hearing the radio, keep looking, see, okay, well, he's not going to say anything, and he never did.
So if you're sitting in your truck, you're seated in your truck, and let's see, it's going to be like this, right?
Yes, sir.
The smoke shop game room doors are back here, right?
Yes, sir.
The door that you saw Abel on the video, right?
Yes, sir.
The door you went in is over here, right?
Yes, sir.
Over in there.
Yes, sir.
You're seated in your truck. You're talking to your son, right?
Yes, sir.
He gets out, go. Have it back. He jumps out. He's going that way, right?
Yes, sir.
Back toward the game room.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you turn up the radio?
Yes, sir. A little bit more, just so I could hear it a little bit better.
Now, your feet's still on the brake, right?
The whole time.
Okay, where was your feet?
On the brake pedal.
Why was your feet on the brake pedal?
Just in case a car came out of these parking lots, and I told him to hurry up, so I was in a hurry, so I never put the truck in park.
When you're up top, after you hit Armando's car, was your feet on the brake then?
Yes, sir.
When you loop around, did you ever put your car in park?
No, sir.
Why?
Like I said, I was in a hurry. I was in a hurry, and I told him just to go in and out, and just in case a car came out, I just wanted to just be able to move
When
easier.
you are sitting in your car and you first hear those first shots, what do?
Well, my natural reaction was to, get down.
Okay, when you get down, do you get down toward the door or do you get down this way?
Where the radio area was at, because I was already facing this way.
And we're watching this in this safety of this courtroom. Were you looking at the time clock and monitoring? Did all this seem to tick 18, 24? Did all this happen fast?
It happened like so fast.
Okay. Were you watching your watch to see how much time passed?
Of course not.
So, how many shots did you hear?
I have no idea. I just heard several shots, but not to put a number on it.
Okay. At some point, you hear several shots, or shots are going off, you're down.
Yes, sir.
At some point, do the shots stop?
Yes, sir.
When the shots stop, what do?
I looked back through the space that I had on my two seats to face basically this way, just to look back, see if I could see my son.
Okay. Why did you look back?
Because that's where my son was headed, and I knew that's where he was going to go. And
Back toward the smoke shop.
Yes, sir.
You saw the video when he goes and he opens that door. Did you ever see him open the door?
Not at all.
Did you ever look at the door?
No, sir.
when he's at the door shooting, you're down ducking.
Yes, sir.
When he goes in shooting, you're still down ducking.
Yes, sir.
When he comes out running, you're still down ducking.
Yes, sir.
When he opens that door, when he opens the back door, you remember seeing that?
Yes, sir.
He opens that back door, what if anything does he say?
He says, go. He says, get out. Somebody's shooting. He goes, get me out of here.
At that time, did you know who was shooting?
No, sir.
At that time, had you ever looked at that front, at the door where the convenience store was?
No, sir.
At that time, did you know who was shooting?
No, sir.
Did you ever see him at the door shooting?
No, sir.
Did you ever know that someone had gotten shot at that time?
Not at all.
When he gets to the deal, yelling, telling you go, 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 does he just stand there, or like on the video, he hops in telling you go?
Yes, I was scared for his safety and mine. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. And when he gets in the back seat, do you ever see him with a weapon?
No, sir.
Is he directly behind you?
Yes, sir.
What is his demeanor when he's in that car?
He's real scared, and I'm asking him if he's okay physically because I can't see him. And I'm driving. I'm just trying to get out of there, and I'm asking him if he's okay.
And are you driving home?
Yes, sir.
How far is your home from there?
No more than 2 miles.
Okay. Are you trying to get him to tell you what happened?
Of course.
And what is he saying? Is he telling you what happened? Is he telling you who's shooting?
No, he's just telling me to just give him some time, just to ease off of him a little bit. He goes, just wait, Dad. He goes, I'll tell you, but just relax, just calm down. And I wanted to know what happened.
Now, when you get back to the house, do you immediately tell him to tell you what happened?
When we pulled up to the house, I had the groceries, the canned goods and the roses in the back seat. He didn't even help me take anything off. Everything was in the back where he was sitting.
What did he do? When you got home, what did he do?
He ends up just going upstairs, and I grab everything. I go in the house. He's upstairs the whole time.
Why don't you immediately make him tell you what happened?
He was just real agitated and hostile, and he was like a caged animal in the room, just pouncing around, just back and forth. I just tried to ease off of him because my wife was, sick and not feeling well. And I said maybe if I just give him 30 minutes or so just to calm down, he's going to tell me.
At that point, did you know your son had been shooting?
No, sir.
Did you know who was shooting?
No, sir.
But shots in that area of that game room, anything unusual about that?
No, sir. It's a pretty, rough area.
All right, and I don't want to gloss over this, but I don't remember if you. Where's your son's room?
Upstairs.
Who else is upstairs?
His uncle lives same upstairs, but across the hall.
And where's your wife's room?
Downstairs.
Who else lives downstairs?
Valerie's room's downstairs also, and the grandma stays downstairs also.
Okay. And when Abel is home, does he pretty much stay upstairs?
Yes, sir, the whole time.
And what does he like to do upstairs? Is he on the computer
He-
like most kids?
He's always online playing video games all the time.
Did you know anything about him having a Instagram, Minister Society?
No, sir.
These photos that they got off of his Instagram, have you ever seen these photos?
No, sir.
Mr. Buckshot? Have you ever seen these photos before this investigation?
No, sir.
Well, have you ever checked his Instagram?
No, sir.
Did you know he had an Instagram, Minister Society?
No, sir.
Now, Abel, had y'all been having some problems with him?
Yes, sad to say.
In fact, Did he get arrested?
Yes, sir. In 7th grade, he did.
All right, and were y'all trying to work with the schools to, I guess, get him on track?
Yes, sir.
I mean, did you actually go and talk to SRO?
I had seen her. I had seen the SRO lady at his football game
And what school was that?
at Sellers.
When he got arrested, what grade was he in then?
7th grade.
So would that have been the year before the shooting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I on 14 or?
Currently, yeah, 14 going to 15.
Let me show you what's marked as defense exhibit number 15. Is this a photo of Abel when he's, I guess, over there at Henry Wade?
Yes, sir.
How he appeared when you went to go try to take care of him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And will this assist in basically testifying what he looked like during that time period?
Yes, sir.
Judge All for defense 15.
Objection. That's 15.
Where's the
For all
vote?
purposes in the public.
This is your son, Abel Acosta, right?
Yes, sir.
The Abel Acosta you knew, right?
Yes, sir.
This is your son, Abel Acosta. Did you know your son was involved in this type of activity?
No, sir.
You're at the house. He's upstairs. Do you try to let him calm down?
Yeah, I try to give him just 30 minutes just to calm down, just to tell me what he saw or what happened.
Did 30 minutes turn into more time?
Yes, sir. I probably an hour passed by. I went up there, tried to see if he needed something to eat. If he was hungry, my wife was cooking flautas that night. He didn't want to eat either.
At some point, do you go to back to Trinidad location?
Yes, sir.
What do you go to the Trinidad location for?
To get a heating pad for her stomach because she was just complaining about the pains in her stomach and she didn't feel good. And we had like a warming blanket it's like a heating pad for her stomach for cramps and stuff.
Okay. At that point, when you went to go get the heating pad, had you told her about all the shots you heard at Texaco?
No, I really didn't want to alarm her.
At some point during that night, does Abel text you?
Yeah, I believe so. He texted me like at 9.
Okay. Now, and just so members of the jury know, do you? I mean, a lot of stuff you've gotten to review, right? Like all the phone records and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Do you specifically remember him texting you that night?
No, not honestly.
Do you remember calling him?
Honestly, I don't.
Okay. But you know you did.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know. Remember, I can't put a time on it.
Okay. At some point, did you go check on Abel and he wasn't there?
Yes, sir.
We know what the records say, but do you remember what time he left?
Not specifically the exact timing.
But at some point he was gone again.
Yes, sir.
Once you realize he's gone, has he told you about the shooting?
No, sir.
Now, at this time, when you realize he's gone, Do you know anybody's been shot?
No, not at all.
You saw them do the geo mapping of your phones, your phone and your wife's phone, going over to Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Did your wife go over to Fort Worth?
Not at all.
How did her phone get over to Fort Worth?
I grabbed it in case my son would call, or call my phone or her phone.
Is that why Fort Worth? Why were you going to Fort Worth?
Because we had a cousin, well, she has a cousin named Alec that stayed out there in Fort Worth.
Okay, but why would you go to Fort Worth?
Because during the day, he had asked me if he can go bowling with that cousin, and I told him we would see, because I didn't know what the day was going to be like. But he never said anything after that in the afternoon or anything, but he did mention that he wanted to go.
And I think you saw the phone records. They said you went to Fort Worth about, midnight, sometime after midnight?
Yes, sir. Around midnight.
And is that true?
Yes, sir.
At some point, did you come back home?
Yes, sir.
At that point, when you come back home, do you know anything about someone being shot?
No, sir.
Are you concerned with for your son?
Of course.
Up to this point, had you saw him with a weapon?
No, sir.
After you go to Fort Worth, do you eventually come home?
Yes, sir.
All right, then what happens when you come home?
I just went to go check on my wife to make sure she was still okay. She was asleep. And my son was still asleep, little Marcus also. And I just went upstairs, and it was already late, so she was asleep. And I was spending the night that night. So I stayed there at their home.
Now, at some point the next day, you have to go to work.
Yes, sir.
Before you go to work, did you wash your car?
Yes, sir.
Now, you heard all this talk, oh, he washed the car and then, he cleaned the marks. You remember the detective saying that?
Yes, sir.
Was that Monday, the beginning of the week?
Yes, sir. Right before I went to work.
All right. In regards to that damage, had you recently gotten an estimate for it?
Yes, sir.
All right. But the bottom line is, if someone wanted to talk to you or Abel about that shooting, your face is on video.
Yes, sir.
You use your credit card.
Yes, sir.
The car is registered to you.
Of course.
There's no reason for you to try to wash the car off, right?
No, sir. Not at all.
And even in the picture that they showed, you could still see the marks, couldn't you?
Of course.
So you go to work the next morning.
Yes, sir.
Is that your normal routine?
Yes.
What time you go to work?
I get there at that Walmart when we're working at different locations. If we're working together, we'll ride together. But if I got to go to a different job site, then I'll use my truck and I'll drive out there. But my boss, he lives in between Beltline, which is Broadway, where the Walmart is at. So he meets us halfway, which is right there, right on Highway 30. So we just get on Highway 30, leave our trucks there, and we all ride together to save gas.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you okay to keep going until about 3 o'clock, or do you need your 2:30 break right now? Everybody seems okay? We'll push it for a little bit longer. Proceed, Mr. Richards.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so you dropped your car at Walmart.
Yes, sir.
Are you hiding your truck over there at Walmart?
No, sir.
Why do you park at Walmart?
Because that's where we always leave our vehicles at, and I leave it there every time I park my truck at Walmart. I leave it that same parking spot. They can go back months, and they'll see me parking there at that same spot.
Does your boss come and pick you up?
Yes, sir.
All right, picks you up, and then where y'all go? What's the first location y'all go to?
The first location we went to was Uptown for Larry Short's. and associates. We were remodeling a loft that was out there in Uptown off of McKinney Avenue.
And then where y'all go?
While we headed out to McKinney Police Station
To do what?
to do finish up basically a kitchen that we were doing for them, and we did their fitness center, and we did all their dressing room lockers, big old dressing room lockers. It was probably about 500 lockers in there that we did for them, and did a lot of work for them it was a project for about 6 months, working on and off for them. It would be on and off, 1 month here, and we would come back onto a location and work a different section of the jail.
And then what happened? Then where'd you go?
I headed out to Rockwall Jail, and we were doing the same thing. I was actually, we did a courtroom. We did basically like a command center where all the officers sit at and patrol the inmates. We did a lot of restrooms for them. We did filing rooms for them. We did an intake room for them. It was.
What about that day? Did you go to Rockwall? Did y'all do some work that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long were you in Rockwall?
Probably just 20 minutes just to grab some measurements of some tops that we needed for the next day.
Okay. Now about what time is it?
At Rockwall, I think it was probably about 4:30 or so.
Okay. At some point, you go to the Garland Police Department.
Yes, sir.
What leads you to go to the Garland Police Department?
Around 4 o'clock, I received a text message from my friend Keith Wright.
Okay. And don't tell me what he said, but based on the information you got from Mr. Wright, did he also text you a photo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And based on your communications with Mr. Wright, what did you do?
I saw a picture of myself that he had sent me, and it alerted me because what he told me, where he seen it was online, and that I needed to turn myself in because I was a person of interest for some type of shooting or something.
Okay. But you knew what he was talking about, didn't you?
No.
As far as the shooting itself. I mean, you didn't know nobody got shot, but you knew he was talking about shooting.
Yeah, because he sent me the picture, and I did hear shots, so I knew something was. They wanted to talk to me. Maybe thought I saw something, or I could help them in something.
Before your communication with him, did you know anybody got shot?
No, sir.
Okay. Once you realized that they were wanting to talk to you about the shooting, did you make arrangements to go to the Garland Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Who took you to the police department?
I had called my wife, and I told her that I didn't want to alarm her on the phone. I just said, hey, you need to pick me up. And she goes, is everything okay? And I said, I'll tell you when you come pick me up. You know, I don't want to, like I said, I didn't want to alert her or have her miscarriage or just scare her to death before she even picks me up. You know, I'd rather tell her face to face.
Did she pick you up?
Yes, sir.
She picked you up, and then what happens?
I tell her, you know, I was like, hey, Garland Police wants to talk to me. I go, that's when I told her, you know, I heard some shots. I don't know what it's about, but I think I'm a person of interest, you know, and I need to just go talk to these people and see what they want from me.
All right. You go straight to the Garland Police Department.
Yes, sir.
That's you we see in the lobby.
Yes, sir.
And you're basically telling them about seeing your tattoo on TV.
Yes, sir.
Did you see your tattoo on TV, or was that information just related to you?
Well, it was basically a social media. So he sent me a picture. I didn't know where he had got it from. I was assuming it was just an assumption of mine that maybe he saw it on TV. But what I think of is probably a social media outlet or something, or that's where he probably got it, where, you know, the information that he had seen.
Regardless of what it was, what was the picture? What was the photo?
I was in the store standing there, and I could see one of my tattoos. I don't know if it was the front or the back because they both look the same. My tattoos are both very similar.
And at some point, they asked you about your truck. You saw that on the video?
Yes, sir.
And you told him where your truck was?
Yeah, really, like, really fast. You know, I wasn't hiding anything or have anything to hide.
At this point, do you know where Abel is?
No, sir.
Do you have any idea where Abel is?
No, sir.
At this point, do you know that Abel is the alleged shooter?
No, sir.
Okay. And then at some point, you saw a detective shoot?
Oh, yes, sir.
Right. Do they want to talk to you about the events that took place
Yes, sir.
on the 26th, the night of the 26th?
Yes, sir.
And you basically tell me you want to talk to your lawyer first?
Yes, sir. But before that, he told me that they had the shooter, and I told him good.
Okay. And how did he respond to you not wanting to cooperate?
He didn't say much. He didn't, when he left, they didn't tell me I was being charged with anything. They just left and then came back with additional police officers and said I was arrested.
Now, even when they come back with the additional police officers, did they tell you at that time that you were arrested for capital murder?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay. At some point, they tell you you're arrested and they start booking you in.
Yes, sir.
Tell the members of the jury what happened when they start booking you in.
Well, when they had booked me in, they did my fingerprints. They did a mouth swab with me. And then I asked them how much my bond was, or, you know, just trying to figure out how much the bond was. And the lady tells me it's $3 million. And this is when they're taking a picture of me. And I thought she was playing. I really did. And I go, what are they even charging me with? Because nobody's told me anything. She said, capital murder, and your bond's $3 million. And that's why I laughed, because I thought she was playing. I really did. And that's when the picture was taken. But nobody told me at all that I was being arrested for anything, for that type of situation.
Okay. Did you, when you're sitting in that truck, did you see Abel commit this offense?
No, sir.
When he's running back to the truck, do you even see him running back to your truck?
No, sir.
When he gets back to the truck yelling, go, 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 why do you go?
I'm his father. I just wanted to protect him, and I didn't know what was going on or where these shots were even coming from. But as a father, I'm there to protect him.
But you've seen the video of this horrific shooting.
Yes, sir.
These kids got killed. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel horrible for the families. This is the most horrible thing that I've ever seen them.
Do you know where Abel Acosta is?
No, sir.
Do you want to return yourself in?
Of course. I really do. We don't know if he's alive. Nobody knows if he's even breathing or anything. Nobody knows.
Did you know about any beef between Abel and the boys that he was
No, sir.
talking about getting the necklace from?
No, sir, not at all. Not at all. And before that, it was just joking and laughing, and he was mad at me because I had grabbed him. He came out of his shirt when I hit the vehicle. But
let me ask you this about the mask. Did you, when you put the hat on, did that like alarm you? Why are you putting the hat on?
no, sir, not at all.
When he puts the mask on, is there anything unusual about that?
No, sir. No, sir. He wore a mask, you know, and at that time, COVID was still going pretty good, you know, and people wore masks. People didn't wear a mask, you know. It was kind of, you know, just depending how you were, you know. And he wore masks.
So, but him putting on the hat and then putting on the mask, that didn't alarm you?
No, sir.
Because you're arguing with your son.
Yes, sir.
That's not your focus.
No.
At that time, some people wore masks, some people didn't.
Yes, sir.
Was it unusual for him to run away?
No, sad to say, he's done it before, so.
Sure. But I do want to talk to you just real quickly about some of the measures that you and your wife took trying to, I guess, make sure he was doing the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Were y'all going to the school?
Yes, sir. And he was playing football, and he was doing better. He was doing a lot better. We moved him out of the other school that he was at.
Was he at Jackson first and then Sellers?
Yes, sir. In 7th grade, he was at Jackson, and that's when he went to jail. And
Now, when he went to jail, were you going to put him in a different school?
yes, sir.
What school were you talking about putting him in?
I was going to send him to Hudson, which is a better location and better area than where we live at.
But he didn't want to do that.
No, he was not having it.
And in reference to him going to Sellers, you let him go to Sellers. He kind of used football to let him go to Sellers.
Yes, sir. He told me if I let him play football, or if I let him play football, he would do a lot better, and he would be there at Sellers, but not to send him to Hudson.
Okay. And did he play football?
He did.
And did you think he was doing better?
Yes, sir. I went to every game. I didn't go to his practices because they were early in the morning, and I was already gone in the mornings. So I didn't go to his practices, but I didn't miss a game. My dad went to his games. My brother went to his games. Everybody went to his games. I was really happy.
So all this menace to society, carrying a gun, you didn't know nothing about that?
No, sir.
Did you know if he had the gun for protection? I mean,
I have no idea why he would have a gun. I have no idea what he had, I guess, in his other secret life. I don't know what he had going on.
okay. But when he got in your truck at the mall, you never saw him getting that with a gun?
No, sir.
And when y'all going to Texaco again, y'all don't know, do you know if, when y'all going to Texaco, did y'all know Ivan, Xavier, and Raphael were going to be at that store?
No. No, not at all.
While y'all riding around in that parking lot, are y'all planning to ambush and attack these kids?
No, sir.
Is that something that you would allow your son to do?
Of course not. I wanted the best for my son. All my sons.
But he committed this crime.
It's the most horrible thing. I can't even imagine how the families feel, and we all lost a son that day. I lost my son. I will never get to see my son again.
But you heard them say that if he is brought back, he will be prosecuted.
Of course, we all lost a son. I lost my son regardless. He's going to spend the rest of his life in the prison.
Would you prefer that over him being dead?
Yes, at least we would know he's okay. I know that sounds horrible, but at least we would know he would be okay.
Did you participate in this offense?
No, sir.
Were you the getaway driver?
No, sir.
When you fled from that location, did you do so to assist your son in committing this offense?
No, sir.
When you fled away from the location, did you know this offense had taken place?
No, sir.
One moment, John. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Acosta.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten past the 2:30 hour, so we're gonna let you take your break at this time. We're gonna do it a little bit longer, just 20 minutes, if you can be back in the jury room and discussion of you've heard so far. I'll rise from my jury.